What's up, freakazoids? Yeah. I'm not sure how Blue's doing. I think Blue's he's getting upset. You know, he's like this new dog. The new dog's trying to play with Blue, and he doesn't want anything to do with it. But look at this. Here you go, everybody. Okay, come on. It's really tiny. It's like the smallest. It's the cutest dog I've ever seen, though. Look at that. Other than Blue. Okay, Blue, you're still cute, too. Right? Woo! Yeah. Yeah, it's like, look at this thing. I wasn't even expecting it. My wife just came home and said, "Hey, Gray, we've got it." Yeah, look at it.
My vote is to name her Bianca Smiling Cat with Heart Eyes. Smiling Cat with Heart Eyes. Love all you freaks.
She was really sleepy earlier, but now she's, you know, Blue's, I don't know, Blue's sort of struggling because he isn't getting every second of attention, even though he doesn't demand attention. It's now that she's here, he's like, oh, wait, I forgot. I was supposed to get, yeah. See, he's right there. Go right there. Yeah, and then everywhere where the dog, we picked one of the names, all right? It's not the one that you just sent in, though. Not Bianca. Okay? The actual name that we picked, it just sort of fit. As soon as I said the name, it was actually the one that Danielle S. said in the, I don't know what you call that, the community chat. All right? And the name is, I know some might not like it, some might not, but we named her Chloe, okay? Doesn't she look like a Chloe? Look at that. Come on. That's it. As soon as I said Chloe, my wife said, oh yeah, I want that one. And then I said, God, she does look like that. So there you go, all right? So Chloe, and it doesn't sound too much like Blue or anything like that. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to put her on the ground and see what happens. Oh, jeez. Come on, Blue. And then she just jumped right into Blue's bed. I mean, look at that. Blue's struggling. Look at that. She just jumps right into Blue's bed, and Blue's out in the cold. He's wondering, where do I get to stay?
Blue and Chloe BFFS.
Yeah. Well, anyways, there she is. Really tiny. I think she only weighs 2 or 3 pounds. But anyways, that is Danielle S. is the one that came up with the name. I read through all of the names, by the way. I liked Sky was pretty cool by Raven. You know, that was like Sky Blue. But yeah, when you look at her, as soon as I heard Chloe, I was like, oh. Yeah, well, I was trying to get a Chloe cam. I actually had one set up earlier, but for some reason it wasn't able to do 3 cameras. I don't know why, but I actually put it inside of her crate and it had a light on while she was napping, and it was really cool. Looked pretty good. I'm hoping I can get everything set up where I can have 3 cameras. So that'd be pretty sweet. And thank you, Cairo and the Eerie Fairy. Now she's probably upset. Oh, wow, I want it. Don't be upset. Yeah. It's a little bit, it throws everything out of whack, though, in the house, right? Like, you gotta realize, you know, maybe in the middle of the night she might bark, and then you have to let her go to the bathroom or something. They're doing a face-off right now. And the sad part is that she's tried to play with Blue a whole bunch of times, and Blue's like, screw you. I think eventually they'll be alright. Yeah, so maybe one of these days will be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking another color, but Cairo had a pretty good. What did when I told him Chloe, he said, yeah, Chris and Chloe and gray and blue. Okay, there you go. All right, makes sense. Yeah, blue's. He just doesn't seem to. Oh, right there, Blue. Now I'm pointing at the bed and he goes, screw it. Because she jumped in it. That's hilarious. Come on, Blue, right there. Come on, right there. Come on, Blue. Are you sure, he said? See, now he's sniffing around like, wait a minute, I don't want to be. Oh, God. Well, we'll figure it out. It's pretty wacky. No. A new dog. It's a, what do they call it? They're, Chorky, I think is what they're called. Chorky. Yeah, so like a Yorkie and a Chihuahua mixed. Yeah, they're just Chorky. I looked it up. Chorkie or something like that. Okay, so yeah, because Blue's like 6, and he's never really had a lot of dogs around. I mean, he's gone outside with some dogs before, but he's never had to realize, wow, I've got another one to hang out with. Thanks, Cairo. Is it gonna read this? Let's see.
Blue, if you're unhappy, you can come live with me.
All right, I switched. I was trying to switch over some of the voices on my. On the streams. I think I picked the same ones that I had though. I didn't realize that I had those. Yeah? Okay, we'll see. Hopefully they're buddies. Yeah, were you guys watching last night? It was kind of weird. I was covering this one case of hell, let's see. What the hell was that one? Definitely gonna have to take off their bells, okay, at some point. So if you didn't catch part 2 of last night, part 1, it seemed like, wow, this guy's guilty. But what's weird is I was actually thinking later, I go, see, this is exactly what prosecutors do. See, all this stuff, the way those articles were written and everything in them, is exactly what you would go, oh, God, really? Come on. She just had sex with you in a swamp and all this stuff going on. And it just seemed crazy, right? But the reality of it is right at the end of the show in the chat, the guy that called in typed in, oh, you got to see there's more stuff later. And I went, okay. So I took 10 minutes, and within 10 minutes, I already saw that there was an appeals filed to the Court of Appeals. They were granted a new trial. I mean, you don't get it's rare to get a new trial like that. And it was based on the fact that there was a lot of evidence that came in that proved he didn't do it. And then it turns out he was actually let out of prison in 2013. This guy, he had a life sentence for murdering he was at a bar. Let me get the guy's name. Yeah, it was the Angela Faye Hackle case. And the guy that was convicted of killing her, he always said he didn't do it. And the way she died was her clothes were taken off, and she was shot in the back, I think 4 or 5 times, and then hung from a tree with tire chains. Okay? So that's what it said, and I was just thinking, oh, well, I mean, what are the odds? He was the last one to see her. And he even admits to having sex with her, almost like he's setting up an alibi. And then I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier in the show, I brought up an article that actually discussed 2 other people that were found dead in that city around the same time, but police didn't think there was a connection. Okay? That has to be complete bullshit, okay? Because one of the guys, well, the guy that killed one of the other women, he was arrested, and it was almost identical. In a wooded area, she was found naked, shot, and then had, I think he said that he had also tied women to trees with chains. I mean, it was almost identical. And amazingly, they said, oh yeah, that's not. And I don't know why they did that. It's bizarre. Let's see. And so what it turns out, by the end of, I did a second show for just 20 minutes or 30 minutes to go over that. And by the time that was over, I was like, oh man, I don't think this guy did it. I think the other guy did. And I wish I had better memory for all their names, but I know I have the folder for her, the murder victim. I'll take another look at it though, because I want to just tell the story again. It's pretty crazy. Yep. What's going on, Chloe? She's just staring down the hall. It's kind of fun watching them go on their first journeys. I think she's only 4 months old. And she was the only female in the litter of 5 with 4 males, and they're all like double her size. You know, so I'm going to go get her checked out. What was weird is I was watching her take a nap, and she was, you know how you see him breathing, and all of a sudden there was no movement for like 20 seconds, and then she goes, ah, you know, and then so I was wondering what the hell that was. It was kind of weird. I don't know if that's, you know, what the hell that means, but yeah, she was like the run of the litter. She seems to be running around, and yeah. I couldn't believe it. She just walked in the house and said, hey, we got a buddy for Blue. Yeah. Rings? I mean runts? Yeah, we'll definitely I'll try to get a camera on her, because Blue isn't gonna, I don't think Blue's ever gonna come back. See, right now when Blue walks by her, he puts his head down and walks by like he's angry or shame. He just kind of, you know, as if they're walking down a hallway and you're trying to avoid each other. But she's not. She's like, hey. We'll see. I think it'll be better in a couple days, hopefully. I don't know if was as well socialized as he could have been. I didn't really take him to parks because Blue's so small too. I don't think I could ever take Chloe to a park. Just a happy little playful paw brush by a lab would probably break her bones. I think she weighs 2, maybe 3 pounds, maybe. I know, he is. I think he is kind of worried about just stuff like that. One of these days I'm going to hear this big yipe and a bark and... So, anyways. Do you guys remember that case we talked about probably, seems like 2 months ago or so, where those 2 children were found hung in their house? Do you remember that? The 8-year-old and the 4-year-old, and they were saying, wow, the 8-year-old hung, but I was like, are you kidding me? That doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, well, look how crazy this is, though. Yeah. Now where am I? Yeah, right here. Let me move this chat window over a little bit. Yeah, Lisa Rachel Snyder, 36, of Albany Township, was charged Monday in the September deaths of her 8-year-old son and 4-year-old daughter, WGAL. Snyder was charged with first-degree murder, third-degree murder, endangering the welfare of children, tampering with evidence, and cruelty to animals. And look at how crazy this is. In a sick twist, police are also charging Snyder with having sexual intercourse with her dog. No wonder the police, remember, they were looking for her dog. Remember that? They wanted to find that dog. Evidence including pictures were found in her email during the course of the investigation. Police indicate the images are from prior to the murders. Lisa Snyder walks out of PSP Hamburg in handcuffs.
Lisa, why on earth would you want to kill your 2 children? What reason would you have to kill your 2 children? Talk to us.
I hate that when they don't even look. Like, have some freaking something. Yeah, I know that. Are you guys buffering right there? I have green on the stream, but it's not really playing. Let me Okay, it's no buffering, huh? Huh. Weird. Alright. Now, according to police, Connor Snyder 8 and Brindley Snyder 4 were found September 23rd hanging by a dog lead wire cable wrapped around a support beam. So like a support beam in a house, usually probably in the basement, and then there was a dog lead put over each side, probably. The morning call reported the children were in full cardiac arrest when first responders arrived and were resuscitated. But both of the children died 3 days later, which probably means they were resuscitated, they were both brain dead, and they were both taken off life support at the same time. According to court records, Lisa Snyder told police her son had been bullied at school and talked about his own and about taking his own life. Excuse me. WGAL reported. So at school, apparently, she's saying, "Oh, he was bullied and he talked about taking his own life." However, school officials and family members said the boy never said he was bullied or suicidal. Right, guess because he never said it. Video taken the day Connor Snyder was found in the basement showed no evidence of distress. Berks County District Attorney John Adams told the Morning Call. Video taken the day Connor Snyder was found in the basement. Wow. So they actually had found video of him on somebody's phone, probably out there, of that same day, and he was just a happy-go-lucky kid. A little bit unlike Blue right now. Let's see. The video shows no signs of Connor was in distress whatsoever. According to a criminal complaint, Lisa Snyder used Google on September 17th to search for information about suicide and murder. The complaint alleged she typed carbon monoxide in a car, how long to die, in a search bar, the newspaper reported. 3 days later, she looked up almost got away with it, and I almost got away with it best episodes, the complaint alleges. So was she going to watch those shows and then see what they went wrong when they almost got away with it and don't do that one thing? Adams and Snyder ordered a dog cable a day before her children were hanged and picked up from a local Walmart. Wow. What a sicko. Okay, and I think tomorrow there is going to be a Parabon win. And so let me open up that folder on that one. Okay. So this is there was a girl named Risa Trexler who was murdered in, I believe, North Carolina in 1984, and I think they had a suspect early on, but it just went cold, and apparently that's the home right there that she was found in. So let's just, these are the basically all they have in the newspaper. There was nothing on newspapers.com, but the other newspaper site that I have, I think that's the one Cairo has. It sort of has back, I don't know, it has different papers in it. And I did find 3 short articles on that one. So, let's see. Here is one of them. Let me zoom out, I guess. Hey, thanks, Claudia Neubauer. And by the way, Claudia Neubauer, yeah, I guess there's some stuff going on in the fructose doulos, right? Coming up. Yes. Come on, Blue. Where are you, Blue? Right there. Come on. Come on. Yeah, right there. Stay there. Here you go. That's your bed. It's not her bed. Okay? She's got a... We went and bought her a whole bunch of beds. Oh, man, he just jumps right out. Okay, Salisbury police are investigating the stabbing death of a 15-year-old Salisbury girl whose nude body was found Saturday at her grandparents' home at 714 Shaver Street, Salisbury. Risa Dawn Trexler, a rising junior at Salisbury High School, was found dead in a front bedroom at the home of Walt Monroe shortly before 5 p.m. Police are asking anyone with information about the murder to call the department. All right, and then there was another article. This is all in that other paper. Oh, maybe did I get that same one? Stabbing probe. Salisbury police are investigating 2 unrelated stabbing deaths of a teenage girl and a 31-year-old man that occurred within 12 hours of each other during the weekend. The nude body of Risa Trexler, 15, was found in a bedroom at her grandparents' home in Salisbury, while the body of David D. Cecil of Salisbury was discovered on the porch of his home, said police. Tony Lynn Weaver, 17, also of Salisbury, was charged with first-degree murder in this case right here. Miss Trexler's body, which had been repeatedly stabbed, was found in the home of her grandfather, Walt Monroe, at 5 p.m. Friday. An autopsy has been ordered. Police Detective Jim Hurley said there were no signs of forcible entry and nothing appeared to have been stolen from the house. So you would think that would be something personal, and I think it's kind of obvious at this point that there was something personal. Yeah, I think that's a duplicate of this one, right? Very, very similar anyway. Well, maybe it's got a little bit more. Let's see. Salisbury police investigators say they have a suspect in the murder of Risa Dawn Trexler. So this is the suspect that I was telling you, that they have a suspect whose nude body was found about 5 p.m. June 15th in a bedroom at her grandparents' home at 714 Shaver Street in Salisbury. According to police, the suspect is a white male, 18 to 24 years old, knew the neighborhood, probably knew the victim casually, was having personal problems, and probably exhibited changed behavior patterns. See, it just sounds like they're almost it's a profile, right? And then the next paragraph, you see the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Behavior Science Unit, which compiled the profile, warned that the suspect could harm someone else if he thought the person had knowledge of his involvement in the crime. Police would not elaborate on the suspect's address or further details. Those with further information that could lead to an arrest should call Salisbury police in confidence. Okay, so now we've got... That's Chloe was coming after Blue and he started growling. Come on, Blue. Calm down a little bit. Oh, man. Poor Blue. Oh, you know what, Alicia? I don't even wonder that at all. I don't want to know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to know how that happens. Okay? Your comment's a little bit crazy, too, by the way, Alicia. You need to, maybe reword that or, don't know. Maybe every dog I've ever been around finds me unattractive. Well, hopefully. You know what I mean? Hey, and by the way, that Amazon link thing is working a little bit. It's not like ridiculous or anything, but if you guys shop on Amazon, if you use one of the links in my description, it doesn't cost you any more at Amazon. I just get a small little percentage for sending you there. So if you don't want to buy one of the drones or anything like that that I have on there, the Mavic Mini for your husband, or yourself, actually. There's a lot of women in here that said they want to go fly drones. I'm actually going to have 3, I think, here pretty soon. Hey, Joe Milana. Oh, cool. Thank you. All right. That's any one of the ones that are in there, the affiliate links. They're a whole bunch of different things. Now I got to turn off my ad blocker. I know. I feel bad for Blue. I will. I'll get something for you. Hey, Blue. Come on, bud.
Spend this on Blue, please. He is the original investigator pup here.
There you go. I changed the voice on that one. Didn't you like that one? I think it had a little bit of an Australian accent. That's right. If you donate on Streamlabs, you get the Australian accent voice. All right. So here is this article here is from. This is from 2018. Okay, because I think they were actually on one of the shows like Dr. Oz or something like that. So there it is. Evidence of 1984 Risa Trexler murder getting second look. A Salisbury Police Department detective who has been looking into the 34-year-old murder of Risa Dawn Trexler says he's optimistic about evidence that is getting a second... Chloe's running around and Blue's just tracking every move. Like, how dare you walk in here? Okay. Says he's optimistic about evidence that is getting a second look by a local crime lab. See, I guarantee it there's DNA. And if you look at the time frame, November 2018, everybody started doing Parabon and did the DNA stuff. Detective Sergeant Travis Schulenberger has recently been reviewing the files and looking into the murder. He said some evidence was never tested because of limited technology in 1984. Yes, there isn't a soul out there who committed a crime that thought, boy, they might get me on DNA. That evidence is being retested. On June 15, 1984, Risa Dawn Trexler, 15, was found stabbed to death at her grandparents' home. Her grandfather, Walt Monroe, discovered her bloodied naked body lying in a front bedroom of the house. She had been stabbed repeatedly in the neck and upper chest. No weapon was found, though the autopsy found the blade of a steak knife in Trexler's right shoulder. So the person who killed her was stabbing her so hard that it broke off. I mean, you can just picture the frenzy of this guy. And then the knife gets stuck. And you kind of wonder if, see, when something like that happens, that means you put the knife in so hard that it probably stuck in bone. And when that happened, his hand probably slipped on that knife and cut his own hand, usually cutting it sort of inside the fingers. All right? So that's probably what he did. Yeah. Well, Blue's in my lap right now and Chloe isn't, okay? Hey, what are you eating, Chloe? It's just... Man, he's just watching her like a hawk. Yeah. Yeah, so he broke the blade off in her body. Right? So that means... I think he could have easily cut his own fingers doing that, and then his blood was at the scene. No weapon was found, though the autopsy found the blade of a steak knife in Trexler's right shoulder. So just the blade, it broke off. Trexler's grandfather, Walt Monroe, had been to the grocery store and his wife to the hairdresser at the time of the murder. So, I mean, they just left. He goes to the grocery store, she goes and gets her hair done, and boom, she's murdered. So, as you can imagine, a lot of family had been accused over the years. We still don't know who they found using Parabon, but we'll find that out, I guess, tomorrow. There was no forced entry into the home, and the family said nothing was taken. The teenager was still wearing a bracelet, watch, and ring. Several people, including family members, were rumored to be suspects through the years, but no arrest was ever made. Trexler's sister, Jody Trexler Laird, appeared on Dr. Phil's show earlier this year and passed a polygraph test. Well, that's kind of weird. Usually a sister wouldn't do that, but Trexler's sister, Jody... Okay, Laird, now in her 40s, was 13 when Risa was killed. Laird told host Phil McGraw that she'd long been labeled a suspect by Salisbury residents and endured decades of gossip about whether she was guilty or innocent. See, that's what goes on in the Delphi case too, right? I mean, all these idiots out there pointing at, oh, it's got to be Cody, oh, it's Mike, it's, all the family members. Okay? I mean, how about... So here's the thing, is the same idiots that say, hey, it's Cody, it's Mike. Well, it can't be both, all right? So at least we know this, that you're lying about one of them. You're wrong. So that means you're screwing up somebody's life, right? I just think, I'm convinced that it's neither anybody at all in the family. I mean, I haven't seen anything related to that whatsoever. It's amazing. Like this one clown, he's making videos now. He's got a little hood on. He thinks he's really clever. He doesn't even know where the hell the crime scene is. He's putting out like GPS coordinates like he's some freaking genius. Talking about how you can create 3D images of a character if you just put the, if you got the camera and if we know like the f-stop and all this crazy. Look, you're full of shit, okay? It's a 2D image. There isn't going to be a 3D image of him. He's walking straight at the camera. All right, now if you rotated the camera around him somehow, then you might have been able to do that. But what difference would that make anyways? Yeah, that's right. Look at. It's just that it drives me nuts, these people. It just, they think they're so clever. They're like late to they're like, hey, I'm going to jump into the Delphi game really late and come up with just bizarre crap. And they think they look really smart and stuff. But in reality, it doesn't look that way. It doesn't at all. And, I actually just went on there and politely said, no, you're way off on the crime scene location, about 0.3 miles away, actually, which is quite a ways in reality when you kind of want to narrow it down to a pretty specific area. So it wasn't even close. going on, Blue? You don't want to go down? Okay, I'm going to put you on the floor now. Yeah. Anyways, I don't mind people making videos, but just try to help. Don't try to pretend that you're, you know, just basically here's how to help. Get the image out and the audio out as much as you can. That's it. All right? Oh, the name of the dog is Chloe, and I actually Danielle S in the chat on the community area on my YouTube channel. She put that in there. She looks just like a Chloe. When you're holding her, it's just. What are you doing back there, Blue? I mean, Blue's going into places that he doesn't ever go. Like he's underneath the desk, way back in the corner, looking at something. It's okay, Blue. Come on. Yeah, it's all right, bud. It's your place, man. You run the show. You tell her what to do, right? Because she just got here. Come on. Now what? Somebody will turn that around. What do you mean? It's your place and she. Yeah, I'm talking about because Blue's been here, right? He doesn't need to be all worried and stuff. He should just play and have a good time. But you know how people take shit. They'll say, oh, look, see? Yeah, hopefully he gets a little bit, you know, he adjusts quicker than not. Maybe tomorrow, right? It's a Chihuahua Yorkie mix. Come here. All right, so Schulberger submitted some evidence last week to the North Carolina Crime Lab, and it's being tested. I really want to clear this for the family. All right, so then there's one more article that came out today, which, and that's her right there. The Salisbury Police Department and Parabon, so this came out, yes, today. Nanolabs will have an update on the 1984 Risa Trexler cold case murder at 11 a.m. Tuesday at police headquarters at 130 East Liberty Street. So if anybody sees this being streamed, send it over, because I usually try to get up at like 8:30 or 9, and so that's not going to be. I just need a copy of it because I'll show you guys later in the evening. Other cold case murder victim families will attend the briefing. In November 2018, Detective Sergeant Travis Schullenberger reviewed the files of the murder case and submitted evidence for new testing that was not available in 1984. So it took that long, huh? On June 15, 1984, Risa Dawn Trexler, 15, was found stabbed to death in her parents' home at 714 North Shaver Street. Her grandfather, Walter Walt Monroe, discovered her body, her bloodied, naked body, lying in a front bedroom of the house. She had been stabbed repeatedly in the neck and upper chest. So that gives you another idea right there, is that she was stabbed in the neck and upper chest. So it was really just somebody hated her, right? I mean, just trying to kill her and just stabbing over and over. No weapon was found, though the autopsy found the blade of a steak knife in Trexler's right shoulder. Trexler's grandfather had been to the grocery store, as we were reading earlier, and his wife to the hairdresser at the time of the murder. There was no forced entry into the home, and the family said nothing was taken. The teenager was still wearing a bracelet. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, so basically it's kind of the same article that we just read, but the update is that tomorrow They're going to be having, let's see. Wait, is that Tuesday? Let's see. Drexler told his murder 11 a.m. Oh. Wait, tomorrow's Tuesday. I don't know why I was thinking today was Tuesday. Time doesn't fly. Yeah, I mean, but it's weird that the grandfather just went to the grocery store, so he wasn't going to take that long. But, I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, what kind of an out was he at the grocery store, the grandfather? But what would he, you know, it just seems like somebody else did it. I mean, what reason would a grandfather have to do that? I mean, you hear weird stuff, but. Well, thank you, Claudia Neubauer. Yeah, so what's the word on, do you want to call in, Claudia, and tell us what's going on with the fructose doulos? I don't have the number ready yet, but I can. I'm just getting the invite out. Man, everything's slow right now. Poor Blue. He's gonna have to get used to having a buddy. But you can't force people to like somebody, Gray. Guy, you're so mean. Oh, that's too damn bad. Alright, there's a number, Claudia, if you want to call in. Why don't you call in and tell us about the fructose doulos stuff? I'm sure you've been following it. Yeah. Oh yeah, like the Farrah Fawcett, Tammy? Yeah. You know, it sucked because it was cool to see Chloe run up to Blue and try to play, but Blue was just, oh, I want none of it. Let's see. What are you gonna look? Oh. Yeah, I guess for a couple days it might be a little bit more hectic. I had everything kind of in a nice little groove where Blue would just sit right there and do the show, but you know, recently he wasn't really just hanging out in that pillow anyway. Come here. Here, let me get. I'll show you. Who people haven't seen her. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I wait for anybody who wants to call in, but I think we got to get Claudia Neubauer. Yeah, we can talk about that civil stuff. All right. So there she is. I gotta probably bring her back about here so you can. Very little. Yeah, Blue seems to becoming a little bit more tolerant. That's good. Yeah, yeah, it does feel, it is cool. I should put a camera on Blue's head, like a GoPro on his forehead, and then have you can guys watch how he just keeps shunning. And it's funny because right now, Chloe's following Blue around all the time, like, hey, you know, because they're pack animals. Just following around, but Blue pretends like she's not even there, you know. Just he'll turn around, run back, and then she comes straggling in from behind there. Oh man, he's stressed out. Oh, there. Okay, hold on. 203, you're on the air.
Hi, Grace, Claudia.
It's Claudia Neubauer.
I'll just say, too, they will adjust. My husband we had a kennel and Dobermans and Shepherds and all kinds of dogs. And we had a Chihuahua Lhasa before I had my other Chihuahua, but we had attack dogs and stuff like that. They will adjust. Got to give it time.
All right.
But going along with Fructose and Dulos and Michelle, a lot of it's still civil.
Well, what's the civil case? What are they doing? Is that the one about the money, or tell people about that one?
Yeah, well, it's from Jennifer's mother and father had the money, and then Fructose got a loan from the father, and he died. And as of yesterday, they're saying that the lawyer for Bill Cosby is going to testify because he was a lawyer for the father that, you know, Jennifer's father died.
Oh, wow.
So he's got to testify tomorrow for the first time, FOTUS, in anything. He's never said a word other than I want to see my children, or, you know, I love my children.
When did her father die? Like a long time ago?
I think 17 or 16.
Yeah.
2016 or 17.
But he borrowed money.
He's the one.
Isn't he the one that he borrowed the money from originally?
Yes.
Right.
But he's saying he gave it to him. But it was really a loan for him to build all those. He didn't really build them. He was just like the organizer of that Ford company that built all these, you know, mansions in Farmington and New Canaan.
Almost like a contractor kind of owns everything.
Yeah, really. You know, he wasn't, you know, some people on some of the sites that, you know, I follow for that case say, oh, he, you know, he put her in concrete in the patio. Well, he didn't do any of that work. He was the one that was, I want to say, almost like an architect or interior designer, and so is that Michelle Traconis. Now, she has another thing coming up on Friday. I believe it's in Stanford, but I don't think I'm going to be able to go unless that change. Stuff keeps changing, and either way, I do believe he's going to be charged at some point. They just don't, you know, like most law enforcement doesn't put everything out there. But they do have, you know, some DNA, and they have the bloody shirts. And, you know, when I went out there to New Canaan and tried to, and on the Merritt Parkway to film, you know, where those cameras were that you were saying. And then I went to the wrong house, remember, and I sent it to you, and you said, no, that wasn't where she got killed. Plus, her house.
But I thought you had to be there.
Now.
So you remember, you always hear these YouTubers say, no, you have to be there to know. Right? But I actually knew that wasn't the right house, even though I wasn't there.
Right.
I'm just using Google Earth.
I picked up the wrong house, and then I sent it to you, the pictures, and you said, no, that's the wrong house. I was like, oh, my God, I did the wrong house. But we went up that driveway, but he did build that house, and that house was for sale also. Now, Jennifer's actual house is for sale.
Oh, that
I
the
guess
one.
somebody.
Wow. Who would buy that?
I
Jeez.
have a. Well, the thing is, I could send that to you because I put it on my Safari. A realtor has it now and said she didn't die in that house because they're trying to sell it. It's like a realtor company of a man and a woman, and it's cleared by the law enforcement, state police, and everybody in Connecticut. So they're trying to sell that, and it's for $2,099,000 something.
Wow, but it was.
And there's
but it was
pictures
sold?
of it inside the house.
It's just up for
It's
sale.
gorgeous,
Though, right?
the house.
It's just up for.
It's up for sale now.
Yeah.
But the person said that, actually bought it and then put it with a realtor, said she didn't die in that house. No, she didn't die in the house, but she probably got murdered in the garage because they have that blood splatter.
Well, I said house.
There, so.
That's what she'll tell them. I said house. I didn't say garage.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. I could send that to you, where it just says it. It's just like, nothing is too up in front. I think more is going to go on to into January even. But I do believe, or I'm hoping and praying, that it gets solved. It's just, he's getting money from
it
somewhere.
is solved. I think if they went to trial now, well, the thing is it depends on if you get, well, I think it would be hung jury because there's idiots, but they have enough evidence where it's just so obvious. I mean, it's just, we went through the whole thing. It's so, if I was on the jury and they did and let's say, here's what I would do. I would play my show for the jury and then see how many of them after that go, oh, yeah, he's innocent. Right? Because we went through every single thing. It's just, that's where he went. And we went through all the the surveillance footage.
With that project manager, with the Tacoma on the Merritt Parkway and into Farmington. And it's just, there's enough evidence. I don't know why they're not putting it out. I think they still, in a lot of cases, want to find her body, but I don't think there is a full body.
Yeah.
And if so, I remember at one point you said she could maybe be in a storage, facility.
Yep.
But I don't.
It might not be.
But that would be like the McStay case.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. The thing is, I mean, I don't know. I was just wondering if there was a place near, because there's an hour missing. But they can't. I haven't heard anybody explain it. But there's an hour missing from when the car left. Is seen on surveillance leaving the Jennifer's home, and then you see it again on that freeway heading back home an hour later. So where was it for that hour? So even if they transfer the body and everything, there's a lot of time missing, and I think her body was put somewhere around there. And all the rest of the stuff, like the bloody, all that stuff was over at the house. I think, at Jennifer's house, there's blood all over the place, and they just, wiped things up, and they had all that stuff put into plastic bags, and then they were going to dispose of that later. It's possible that Jennifer was nude even when not for any rape or anything, but they just took her body and put her somewhere. And all of her clothes were found. I don't know what did they find? Did they find any of the rest of her clothing? Or
her shirt was a Vineyard Vines. Apparently she had many of them. That's a company that, a lot of rich people buy. I can't buy from there. But she had multiple shirts, apparently. But one was found, and she was wearing that when she dropped the kids off in the morning. At the New Canaan.
So they found that shirt.
That elite school.
So then she doesn't have that shirt's not on her then. So that means it's not on her. So she's just got like a bra on, apparently at that moment, right? Because what are you going to dress her again?
Well, I think that had blood on it too. The shirt, a bra, and then there was some mat from the car that was at a restaurant that the law enforcement at state police were still looking for.
So you're saying
but,
they found the bra?
you know,
They found the bra and the shirt?
yes, with blood on it.
Yeah, that means she's
in the
totally
garbage bag.
nude. Like they took all of her clothes off. And then
Probably.
and maybe I don't know. Like, how do you think they? I think all of that stuff was taken off in the garage, and heck, maybe some of it was even used to wipe up some of the blood or whatever. And then later they came back in, or he stayed there for a while though, didn't they? Cleaning.
In that Tacoma, there was blood, and he had Michelle clean it up, and she thought it was coffee. I mean, it's just.
Well, she didn't.
I don't know. You know, it's the affidavits say all that stuff, and she still she is going to have to testify from Gloria Farber, Jennifer's mother. She kept pleading the fifth on everything when she was testifying with the civil cases, but now she has to answer like 18 questions. And I'll look up that date. I can't remember. It's just so twisted and turns, and and then there's stuff on a Facebook page that I follow that they put out all these affidavits and these new things. And remember that guy I was telling you about that wanted his wife killed, that lawyer that worked for him, and then the wife went to his house. Well, he is being charged with some felonies. I forget what his name is, McGowie or something. I'd have to look it up. It's like almost not daily, but frequently. So many things come up, and it's not so much about the case itself. It's about all this civil. But with all that civil stuff, they're trying to pin FOTUS regarding money. And
it sounds like they're trying to lean. They're trying to lean on some people so that they'll say something. I think they're trying to get people to talk. I think their best bet to get an actual conviction here is to treat. What the hell's her last name again? Triconis. Yeah. I would cut her a deal like Crystal Kenny.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta cut her like a sweetheart deal, because you know for sure that fructose is behind it all. Okay.
Yeah, and she's never uttered a word. And her lawyer, that Bowman, he is like tight-lipped, and he's trying to just keep her in the, in the background. But apparently, that Weinstein, that's one of Jennifer's mother's lawyer. He's kept putting out appeals and stuff, and finally, she is going to have to mention some stuff on the civil, but I don't think about the criminal charges. She's never uttered a word, and FOTUS never has, other than, he's never mentioned Jennifer or her missing, my God, she's the mother of my children. Right there is proof. He never went looking for her or anything like that. And the family never wanted a reward because they didn't believe that was a good thing to do. They didn't want people to go out searching like, I would go searching, but they didn't want, her mother, Jennifer's mother, didn't want that. She didn't want people to maybe contaminate. It was really only law enforcement and, state police and FBI searching with dogs and, the park, that Waveney Park where her Suburban was found. But then, all with the school buses picked up that Tacoma. Yeah. And there was blood found in there, and the Porsche seats were put in there. And,
we're going to have to do like a reset. We're going to have to, I think we should go one of these days soon, get that affidavit back out or whatever that, what was that called? Was it a warrant or affidavit? I can't remember. It was a long PDF file, and we'll go through it all over again. But we have everything mapped out now, so it'll be easier to follow. But man, if you want to see somebody that's guiltier than hell,
after all this time too, it's confusing. Even not confusing, I understand it, but so much comes up, on my news feeds and the things I follow here in Connecticut. It's like constant.
Yeah. I actually think
You know,
there's
this
something
lawyer-
to. I think there's something to the other lawyer and him, like planning to kill each other's wives.
Yes.
It just seems to make a
Yes.
lot of. It made so much sense. And you know, well, you explained to him why we went over, but remember the wife, how she was nervous, and the other wife.
Well, the husband sexually assaulted her and raped her when she didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So she went to the police and she put out a restraining order from him. But then he asked photos to get a hold of her and have her come and meet with him so that they could get back together again so he wouldn't really get arrested.
At his house,
But something
too, right?
new, yeah, at Fotis's house.
Yeah, okay. And what was the new thing that you're about to say?
But he just got arrested and on some felonies for those charges. So I think I have it on my Safari because I try to, everything I see, you know, sometimes I can't see it on the news channel, so I just click on it and I put it on my Safari. I got tons of stuff on my Safari, but I think it's on there. So I could try to send that to you.
But remember, she even said she thought like something like that was going to happen. The wife.
Oh yes, big time through a divorce. I mean, there were also, you know, I mean, it's not so much related to the case, but I think I sent you stuff where it said different people that were going to buy homes from him said, oh, we don't want to deal with you anymore because of your contentious divorce and everything, and people don't want to buy your homes, because he was saying, you know, he was contradicting her as far as, you know, she was saying she was afraid of him. He did get, I think, out of Florida, a legal gun, and he threatened her with that other times, that he would kind of block her in a room. I don't think he ever physically beat her from what I've read, but she was very frightened of him, and I think because of his ego. You know, some people have, like, he's got a big ego. He thinks he is all it. And, you know, one of those macho guys, you know, with the water skiing and connections with Greece and people, you know, sending him money. He has no money. Everything he got was from Jennifer, and I think he wanted her dead to get some of her money and from the family. He's just a user. He's an abuser and a user is what I want to say.
Yeah,
and I hope he, you know, I think at some point he will get nailed. I don't know about Michelle. Hopefully she will be like Crystal Kenny. And that came out today, that Crystal Kenny. Now, her sentencing was supposed to be today, but it wasn't today. It's going to be on January 28th.
Oh, that's
you know,
the
and
other article.
you know, I followed that case, and you know, I know, you know, she did the plea deal, but I hope she gets 3 years and not 3 months.
Yeah, I think the judge has to give her the maximum of. I'd give her the maximum of whatever is allowed under the agreement.
Right, and I think that's 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, and then I see on, you know, a channel that I follow about that, you know, with that Sam Kramer, that I really like him, and I follow him. Some people on there were saying, you know,
he's on Facebook,
it wasn't
right?
the
Or
trough,
Twitter.
and she didn't get burned. And yes, she did get burned. You know, they did burn her in that trough.
Yeah.
You saw that video. I mean, how could people
Who
not
says that?
see that video?
Who says that?
People on some of the, you know, on Sam Kramer's
He's
TV.
He's
you know,
on
that
Facebook,
follow
right?
him.
Or Twitter? What, Twitter?
Yeah, on Facebook or
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, I follow him on both. You know, and I watch his live stuff. You know, he's done stuff, and I really appreciate him. He's a really good good
Yeah, seems pretty
kid. To me, he's a kid, and he's kind of handsome too. But he's a good reporter, and he's like everywhere. And he comes on live on Facebook, and I'm one of his top fans. They on Facebook you get to
Gosh,
do a
I'm
thing.
jealous. I'm jealous now, Claudia. Jesus.
No,
I feel. You know what? I feel like Blue. I'm like Blue right now. Hey, Blue.
No.
I'm just like you, Blue. Oh man, I'm looking
You
down.
know how much I love you,
I
love your Blue, and I love your new dog.
I'm looking down right now, and right now, Chloe is in Blue's bed again. I have no idea where Blue is. I think he's somewhere just wallowing. Where is he?
They will be cuddling soon, trust me.
Where is he?
I told you, we raised dogs. Worked at my cousin's animal hospital since not worked, but raised at my cousin's animal hospital. I know all about dogs. Dogs are our favorite. My husband and I, like I tell you, we had attack dogs, really for like auto body shops and stuff around. But they were trained.
Yeah.
They wouldn't attack, my husband could say, watch him. And he would talk German sometimes, and then he'd run to somebody and he'd say, ow! And he would just stop and then he'd lick you. But they would attack you if they really wanted you to.
Yeah.
So they will. And I love the little tiny dogs. We went from big dogs to a Chihuahua and a Lhasa Chihuahua and a miniature Pinscher. And
Yeah.
we've had dogs our whole lives. And I'm going to be 65 on Wednesday. I can't believe it.
We'll have to do something on here. Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, I can't believe I'm this old. And I've been with my husband 40-something years.
Wow, that's crazy. Usually it's 40-something if you're 80-something, because it's usually the second marriage that worked better. I don't know if you've been married another time.
One marriage.
Yeah.
Got married at 25, got married at 25, baby at 26, baby at 27, done deal. Now I got 6 little
Oh, God.
that I sent you pictures of.
Yeah.
And the oldest is only 6. He just turned 6, and the youngest is 15 months.
You're going to be a young great-grandmother.
Oh, God. I hope not.
Well, look at it.
Too young.
Oh, let's say like in 18 years you'll be 70-something, and something like that. Maybe would it be 80? Anyways, yeah, you'd be a great grandmother at 80, and then you're gonna live to 100. So you might even be.
My Lord.
You're gonna be.
I hope not.
Great grandmother.
Oh, God. And I just want to mention, I saw something about regarding Stephen that I don't know if you might want to do with his wife. I just saw an article on YouTube or a thing about a new kind of watch type thing. It's $250 for people that have seizure disorders. And maybe Stephen's wife might know somebody, and maybe we can contribute to that and let somebody have one of those kind of watches.
Oh, that's good.
Or whatever it is. It's like on your wrist, and it gives you an alert. And this young girl, it saved her life many times.
It'd be cool if you could do one
And
that's
it alerts
inscribed
you.
on the back. It says Stephen Bashir watch, something like that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't say the word watch. But
I'll send it to you because I saved it. I didn't know if I wanted to send it to you and bother you with it, but I thought it was pretty cool, also being a nurse, which I'm retired from now. But I thought it was very interesting, and because of Stephen, maybe we could donate that to somebody that has a really bad seizure disorder or something. It's only not that bad, $250 is what it said from what I saw.
Yeah. Hey, thanks,
I miss
Lanky.
them already, too.
Yeah.
But I'll let you
cool.
go. I don't want to hog the phone. I'll see you on
Well,
chat.
I only opened the phone for you. I just wanted to have you call.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
So you're not hogging
Love you
anything.
all.
Yeah, thank you. You're the intrepid reporter on the scene in the fructose doulos case. All right.
I try.
We'll do a show here pretty soon. I'm going to go over it from start to finish.
Okay, good idea, Gray, because I kind of get a little mixed up, too. It's just so much on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Talk to you soon.
All right. See you. Bye.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye. Claudia Neubauer. Now, I think today is about time. I've been kind of busy. I'm gonna do. We're gonna have to go through some newspaper.com. Try to find something. Nine. Ich Vloggendoggen. That doesn't mean anything, but yeah, I don't even really care about the overseas anything about Doulos. What I care about is him getting finally put in prison forever for what he did to his wife. Or allegedly. Okay, excuse me. Allegedly did to his wife. Thanks, Lanky Tor. The new pal's name is Chloe. All right. Have you seen Chloe?
For Blue's new pal, grinning face with big eyes, heart suit.
Hey, Lanky Tor, have you seen Chloe? Yeah, have you seen her on the screen? I can show it. I'll show it to her. I'll show her to you. All right, here we go. Hold on a second. She's like, I was sleeping. Leave me alone. Okay. No. There she is. Doesn't that look like a Chloe or what? Come on. That's just... As soon as I heard that name, I said, okay, that's it. All right. Yeah. She's... a little bit of, she's really tired, you can tell. She's about ready to fall down. There you go. Now you're in the, right there, you can see her up in the, she's probably like, can you leave me alone, for God's sakes? Oh, sorry, I was just, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm nervous though. I mean, man, you just accidentally step in the wrong place. She's under a blanket. It's goners, right? I mean, she only weighs like 2 pounds or something. Jeez. Makes me nervous. I think that's what parents feel like right when they have a baby. They're so small, they're nervous that they'll do something. All right, you guys ready to look up something? So put in a keyword to look up. Let's try to find something like a serial killer in an article, but without using their name. Okay. I know we went straight from cute puppies to serial killers. Not the smoothest transition in the world, but hey, who said I was smooth? I'm the guy that said, wow, your eyes, they look like a lizard. Ah, God. Forget it. You're out of the game, Nikki Scott. I mean, just so, you know. Yeah. Let's see if that shows up. I doubt that'll be in there. Might, though. You know, part that I don't like is that there's 37,000 matches. Yeah, that doesn't look that good. Washington buried bodies. Let's see. Well, what do you mean Washington buried body? You mean buried bodies, Washington? Well, there's a lot of buried bodies. See, that's not specific enough. Cemeteries have buried bodies. Oh yeah, there you go. Fourth, that's a pretty good one there. Fourth body, it's probably more like fourth body found without. Now I'll do it the way you put fourth in there. How about another body? Wow, it's like the local Dyatlov Pass. And some made it further than others. Let's see. This is 1995. Officials sought to identify the body of a man found wrapped in plastic, cloth, and duct tape on Walnut Street. Two teenage boys discovered the body Monday night while they were driving near a vacant area behind Milton Town Hall, Police Lieutenant Richard Wells said. The body did not appear to have been there long, he said. The body was taken to a mortuary in Boston, police said. Right. So this is December, Massachusetts, December 1995. So now we'll refine the search to exactly that. And then also just put 1995 in there, and then we're gonna have repetitive articles on that, you'd think. Although this could actually be 1996 because it's so close to the end of the year. Okay, this is the next day, it looks like. December 26th, December 27th. Okay. Police hope the duct tape used to bind the body of a convicted drug dealer, I don't know if this is it, let's see, will give up the fingerprints of his killer. Rolando Coxon had been shot several times, wrapped in plastic, duct tape, and a zebra-striped blanket before his body was dumped in a snow-covered lot near downtown Milton. Was that what? I think that's what the other one said, right? I just want to make sure it's the same one. It said Milton, right? Yeah, Milton. Okay. It's a very strange place to dump a body. Let's see. Investigators say the body of 23-year-old immigrant from Jamaica had not been in the lot long before being found about 10:30 p.m. Monday by two teenage boys and a New Hampshire couple driving home after spending Christmas with relatives. What a great, joyful thing to see right after that. It's a very strange place to dump a body, said Deputy Fire Chief Malcolm Larson, who works in a nearby fire station. It is open 24 hours a day. There are always people walking their dogs up there. You wonder what was going on. But what's this person's name? Rolando Coxon. Alright, so now you go back to here. Maybe get rid of that. Make that one 1995 to 1996. And then Rolando Coxon, right? And I guess they didn't really do anything about it. Unless I spelled the name wrong then. Alright, what's another one? Yeah, there's no articles. See, what you're trying to do when you're looking at newspapers.com is you're looking for a phrase that would actually be in the article. Okay, so you wouldn't be looking for somebody that says serial killers on trains. Okay? I mean, it might show up in one random article somewhere, but what you want to do is find something that... Right, like, yeah, exactly, something like that. Remains found inside, or the woman's dismembered body, something like that. You know, one of the things you don't see well, let's see. You don't see child's dismembered body very often. We had a couple of cases, that's the case. Remember the case where the officer, we've brought it up a number of times, but he consulted a psychic within 10 days and sent the shirt off. The bloody shirt. And they never found it again, that shirt. By God. So this is just in Massachusetts. That's Germany. How about put in yeah. Hey, good night, Wally. Well, how couldn't a psychic lose a shirt? What was stupid was that the cops sent it to one in the first place, because not only are psychics worthless piles of dog shit, there's no way in hell you would send a shirt off just that quickly to a psychic. I mean, what a joke. Right, Chloe? Yeah, well, let's see what this one is. Woman's dismembered body found in crates. Pieces of a woman's dismembered body. Oh wait, we found this one yesterday. This is the one. Here it is. Some painted blue or gold were found, packed in boxes. That's funny. I mean, the story isn't funny, but it's weird that that one's the one that came up just randomly. I'm gonna pick a state. I always like ones that are. How about Oklahoma? I mean, that's where if you live on the Panhandle, you're safe. 1908, 1927, 30. These are all these really old. Let's see what one of these is about. Wow. Mother knows that Marion is dead. This is from 1927. 20-year-old Perry M. Parker, Jr., brother of Marion Parker, for whose dismembered body a kidnapper Saturday night collected $1,500, made this statement Sunday as he talked briefly of the blow that had fallen upon the family. Father and I know, he continued, but of course we have not told her, and we never will tell her. Mother is wonderful. She is not broken down, neither is father. They keep going. I don't know how. Mother is out of the kitchen now, getting breakfast for us. I think it makes it a little easier for her to keep busy. Father is asleep at last. He's worn out. It was the first time that Perry M. Parker, father of the murdered girl, had slept since her disappearance Thursday. He fell asleep Sunday morning from utter exhaustion. Mrs. Parker had slept a little and an hour or two at times when weariness overcame her. Let's see. I wonder if they're gonna... See, what's interesting is you go back in time and sometimes you find these old articles and it just shows you how it's similar now. People aren't really different. It's no different. This is all, let me see if this is related. Wow. Is that what that is over there? Yeah, so that's her. Marion Parker kidnapped last Thursday, part of whose remains were returned to her father Saturday night by her abductor killer in return for $1,500 ransom. So just part of her was returned. Wow, that's just freaky. So 1927, dismembered portions of the body of little Marion Parker kidnapped last Thursday, part of whose remains were returned to her father Saturday night by her abductor killer in return for $1,500 ransom, were found Sunday in Elysian Park here. Despite all-night search by hundreds of police and detectives and posses of citizens, no trace could be found of the friend who kidnapped and murdered the 12-year-old schoolgirl. A member of one of the civilian posses made Sunday morning's gruesome find by the side of the road leading into the beautiful hill-parked area of eastern Los Angeles. Wrapped in newspapers in 4 separate packages were the little victim's 2 legs and 2 forearms. Wow. Yeah, that's insane. See, psychos lived back then too, 1927. Look how long these articles are back then. I don't want to go through the whole thing. Anyways, yeah, I don't have any other articles. Really, tonight I wanted to come on and let you guys see Chloe. It's easy to remember that name too. Also, it doesn't sound just like Blue, so it won't confuse them. Yeah, that's what I would feel like too. But I think tonight I'm just gonna make this a shorter night because it's been kind of a busy day, hectic day around here. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure Blue feels okay. Yeah. All right, but this is what we put together. This whole thing on the Photos Doulos. We drew this whole map. That's the route, and then we found out where surveillance cameras were, put them in the route, and everything that went on around in this area. Jennifer took her kid to school at 8:05, went to the school, and then came back home. Well, it wasn't 8:05. It was a little bit before that, but the attack happened right when she returned back to the house, and I believe that Fructos was right here, and right when the car pulls into the garage, he follows it in, and the garage door shuts, and now he's inside the garage with Jennifer Doulos. And then right over here at 7:05, his vehicle, the red, I actually put that there, the red Tacoma, was parked. It was seen there. Or that's what they believe. And then at 7:40, you can see it visible, I think, on the actual bus that drove by. And then I think he, on foot, probably made it over here, or was given a ride. I mean, it's pretty confusing because you got to read we'll go back over the documents. But anyways, we've got it all in there. It'll make it a lot easier the next time because we worked through the whole thing on the show that one time, and it took a while. But man, by the time it was done, it all made sense. But it's been so long now that it's hard to remember every single one of the details. All right. So, hey, where are we going to do a flyby tonight? Thanks, Claudia. Are you guys still there? I can't tell because I think my chat's frozen. Okay. Thank you. Well, man, thank you guys for all being around. And thank you, Danielle S., for coming up with the name. After reading through them all, I went, oh, wow. My wife said, oh, I like that one. I'm voting for that one. And then I realized, wow, that does look just like Chloe looks like the dog, right? I mean, the dog looks like a Chloe. All right. I don't know when. Her name was Choo Choo before, and I didn't really like that. That sounds too, I don't know. What do you call that? It just didn't like it. Thank you, Cairo. Yeah, too foo.
Welcome to the freak family, Chloe.
Oh, thank you. She's definitely is a freak, I'll tell you that. Oh, hey, but first of all, let me say thanks, because at the end of the show, I don't want to forget. Thanks to Erie Ferry, Cairo again, Claudia Neubauer, Dottie, and Lanky Tor, and Cairo, and then just a second. I know I ruined the flow there, but I don't want to forget. And then also Cairo on PayPal. There. All right. Cool. All right, now back to the song. Thanks. All right. Thank you guys for all showing up tonight and joining in on the introduction of Chloe, the new member of the Freak Investigative team. She won't be investigating anything. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming on tonight. Looks like you guys can take a look at her. She's laying stole Blue's bed. Okay, absolutely robbed Blue blind and just usurped the Blue's bed. Although Blue sometimes does go to bed a little early, so we'll chalk it up to that. All right. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for showing up tonight. And as I always say, let me see if I can do this. Until next time. Be safe out there. Be safe out there, freaks.